Welcome to Football with Cheese. I really want to get to the draft recap. I'm going to do division by division. And I've already made one Shedeur Sanders video, but people keep talking about it. I didn't think I was going to make any, and now I'm making a second one. But we need to talk about it. So make sure you are subscribed so you never miss a video, and hit the bell for notification. Reminder, tonight I'm going to be on the Sports Truth podcast going over everything draft. We'll talk more about Shedeur Sanders. But if you did not watch day 2 of the draft, Mel Kiper basically said that NFL team owners are making it personal by not drafting Shedeur Sanders, and I vehemently disagreed. Mel went off, he whined like a baby. I immediately turned to NFL Network. I'm not watching ESPN draft coverage ever again. I watched it for Mel. And after seeing that, it was such bad TV. I'm just not doing it anymore. He was the last thing about ESPN that I was watching, because it's just such a terrible network and they have terrible people on there. But that's a different story. So Shedeur Sanders did not fall because the NFL owners got together, colluded, and said, let's not draft this guy. That's insane. These NFL owners, they want to win. And he's a quarterback. If they wanted him, they would have taken him. There's a reason he fell. There's multiple reasons. Let's just start out with the good. I mentioned that in my last video. I will link the Shedeur Sanders video in one of these boxes and down in the description, the first one. So check that out if you haven't. So what does Shedeur Sanders do well? He's accurate in the pocket, especially short intermediate routes. He processes information quickly, can go through all the reads. He doesn't turn the ball over hardly ever. But there's a lot of bad too. He does not have a cannon arm. He cannot make all the throws. A lot of his deep balls that were complete is because he had some really good wide receivers. Obviously, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn Jr., they were very good at tracking the ball, making adjustments, go get it. So when in doubt, he would just chuck it up deep to them, and a lot of times they came up with it. Travis Hunter went second overall in this draft. He's unbelievable at tracking the ball, unbelievable hands. The other problem I had with Shedeur Sanders, he didn't really improve to me from 2023 to 2024. He didn't show any growth, and that's just on the field. So let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. So he did not interview well. This is from multiple teams. According to reports, like I said, these are rumors. I do not have a guaranteed source on them, but this is what I read online, and there are multiple places that said he didn't interview well. But what I'm going to talk about here, I only saw one place, that the Giants interview, he wasn't prepared. And when the Giants head coach Brian Daboll wanted him to go over plays and he wasn't ready, like, he did not react well. The word entitled has been brought up many times. There's even a rumor, let me bring it up here, that he showed up with an entourage, that he wore headphones with the music playing around his neck. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is true. And that he wore so much cologne that one coach had to walk out because they thought they might faint because of the overpowering scent. I cannot confirm that. Those are rumors. But I could see this being true. And Deion is not helping. His father, Shedeur Sanders, the Hall of Fame corner, you all know who he is. He's going over tweeting that this is all a lie. Even though multiple reports have said stuff like this, it's all a lie. He's enabling him. Sanders could have come out and said, I should have done better in interviews. He could be humble. He's not like that. And Deion is not helping anything. He's clearly enabling him. Clearly. And Shedeur grew up privileged, and he thinks he's tough shit. And it reminds me of Johnny Manziel, except Johnny Manziel's more athletic and had a better arm. And let's talk about Deion. In the 1989 draft, there is a story out there that Shedeur Sanders was in a meeting with someone who picked, I think, 9th, 10th, 11th, somewhere in that range, and asked them, where you pick? And they told him, he said, why am I talking to you? And just got up and walked out. That is so rude. Now, he didn't get drafted by that team. He went 5th overall to the Falcons, so he wasn't going to fall there. There's no way. And he knew that, but it's still ridiculously rude and entitled. And I'm not surprised that word's been thrown around for his son. Also, some people have thrown around the race card. Of course they have. That just allows them to play the victim once again. So if the NFL owners are racist, then why did a black quarterback go 1st overall? So the racism thing is ridiculous. Your quarterback of your team, your franchise quarterback, has to be the leader. And you cannot have someone with that attitude as your franchise quarterback. It's not going to work. Like I said, Johnny Manziel did not make it in the NFL. He had talent, but there's a reason he did not make it. I get why teams passed on Sanders for all the reasons we mentioned. And once the Giants traded up for Jackson Dart and the Saints went with Tyler Shuck, you're running out of teams that need quarterbacks. It was basically the Steelers and Browns. That's it. And I can see why the Steelers passed on Shedeur. He does not fit their culture. He does not fit their locker room. And the Browns took a 5th-round flyer. I get it. That makes sense. But they didn't love Shedeur Sanders because they drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round, a player most people have as a pretty good backup because he's just so small. But he's more athletic than Sanders, and he has a bigger arm as well. So the Browns didn't love him. They just had a lot of picks. They're like, 5th round, why not? Anyone out there like Mel Kiper saying that he was a top 5, top 10 talent in this draft, he was not. And this was a weak top 10. I had him rated in the 30s, and that's just based on play on the field, not on anything else. I did not knock him down for the entitlement and all the rumors I've been hearing. I put him in the 30s based on what I saw on the field. So he's a 2nd rounder based on his play. Early on in day 2, I think right after the Saints took Tyler Shuck, I texted my dad and said he's likely falling day 3 because the Browns had 2 early 2nd-round picks and passed on him. And the Steelers clearly weren't taking him. So this should not be a surprise. It's not collusion. It's not racism. It's about the player and the person. So maybe Shedeur thought he was going 1st and 2nd, either the Titans or Browns. And so he didn't take the Giants interview seriously. But if that's true, and that's just a theory, then it's very entitled and insanely stupid. And it killed his draft stock. And my friend Coop made a good point after my first Shedeur Sanders video. This is video 2, hopefully 2 of 2. If the Browns have a bad year and Kevin Stefanski is fired as the head coach, it's very possible that Deion Sanders will lobby for that job. And you're not just getting Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback. You're getting Deion. You're getting the spectacle. You're probably getting the entourage. There might be a reality show. It is a chance to be a complete mess. That's why I said in my last video that no team should draft him at all, because teams like the Seahawks with Sam Darnold or the Raiders with Geno Smith, if they drafted Shedeur Sanders in day 3 and those quarterbacks struggle at all, have one bad game, then the media and the fans are like, put in Shedeur. And that's just going to cause a distraction. So what do you think about Shedeur? Do you think the owners are colluding together not to draft him? That's stupid. Do you think it's racism? All this is doing is allowing him to play the victim. And that's not good for him. He needed a wake-up call. Everything's not going to be handed to you. You have to earn it on the field. I would not be surprised if he's out of the league in 3 years. So make sure you are subscribed. Turn the bell for notification. Like this video. Likes help so much. Reminder, I'm going to be on the Sports Truth podcast. I will link it in the description. It starts tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. I should be on for about an hour recapping the draft. I promise you, I'm going to get to the recap videos for the draft, division by division, but stuff keeps coming up. Hopefully, I get one of those out today, but it might be tomorrow. I'm going to start with the AFC and NFC North. So check these out if you have not, including the first Shedeur Sanders video, and I will see you in the next one.